misogynists don't get threesomes that often. They also probably have not been with a lesbian because, I mean, let's be honest, if you're a dude, the likelihood of this is shockingly small. I don't believe that I have covered the comment section before. I don't think I've covered Brett Cooper, but she's done a lot of content for the Daily Wire and has definitely skyrocketed herself fairly highly in the YouTube algorithm. So the fact that I haven't covered her stuff, at least not to my recollection, is maybe a bit of a mistake on my part. So let's go ahead and correct that mistake. And let's go ahead and go into the fan art section and then take a listen to what she has to say about the downfall of society. First off, we have from Leah, Slime Suris, done during tonight's live on my Yule gift for my partner, a drawing tablet. He insisted I post it. Oh, well, thank you very much for that. The next one we have is from Call Me Dale. It's fan art, as it is literally art on a fan. I don't hate it. The next one we have here is from Sylvia Silica. Suris with a gift on this very Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas, even if this won't be seen until the new year. Aw, and there's two of them based on the different Christmas outfits. Thank you so much for that, Sylvia Silica. As always, everybody, thank you all for your fan art submissions. If you want your fan art to be shown in a future video, the best way to do so would be drop it in the fan art section of the Discord. With that said, let's go ahead and take a listen to what has to be said by Brett Cooper about the downfall of society.
Welcome back to the comment section. I'm Brett Cooper. Just want to do a little viewer discretion, even though I'm not really in favor of trigger warnings, just because I know I have younger viewers. We are going to talk about porn again today.
I like how when people say they're not in favor of trigger warnings, that means they basically have to justify being okay with just, like, showing a rape scene to somebody. Just saying. Like, that's the logical conclusion where that goes down.
Getting into anything graphic, but we are going to talk about some statistics. We're going to talk about why it is the new drugs over any parents of young people, just letting you know. But before we get into the story, you guys know the drill. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to this channel if you've not already.
Or don't do that. Like mine, subscribe to mine. Me.
Ring that notification bell. And of course,
please.
If you are trying to...
Go away. Why is there a sale? There's a plug already. Okay, cool. Let's just skip all that.
Released their 2022 data, and it is bleak. It's kind of funny, but in a very twisted and sad, depressing way. Let's just first get a broad overview. Once again, America has been awarded with the great honor of watching more porn than any other country in the entire world. We basically doubled the watch time of the runner-up, and New York Post said this: despite domestic problems, including soaring inflation and political polarization, America was still the country with the highest daily traffic to Pornhub, with stressed-out citizens seemingly turning to adult entertainment to forget about their daily dilemmas.
Wait a minute, so we had the highest rate of going to specifically Pornhub. So we're only tracking traffic to Pornhub. Isn't Pornhub an American company? As far as I know. So it's almost, maybe a little bit like that data's already going to be a little bit skewed. Also, America has a pretty high population. Not the highest in the world. Yet the United States ranks third. We rank third in global population. China ranking first, with a lot of their information not being available because that is just how China does things usually. India ranking second, with the United States ranking third. Okay. It makes sense that we would be in at least the top three then, all things considered. We are literally the third most populated country on the planet.
The United Kingdom came in second, followed by France, Japan, Mexico, and Italy. Let's just look at this thing. More than double. United States, United Kingdom.
So Pornhub does not have any stats for India here. I wonder why. Oh, they're not even factored on the list. We don't have data for Russia. We don't have data for India. So there's literally data that's not even here. The United Kingdom being second is more of a I guess a red flag, if you will. per capita than the United States because they have so many fewer people than we do.
What are we doing? Now is the perfect...
Apparently watching porn, and apparently getting another fucking plug. How? It's a 5-minute video. You've plugged twice.
Pornhub. Like, guys, I understand that it has been a stressful time for all of us. But come on, like, this is embarrassing. We are a laughingstock on the world stage.
They just laugh at us, and why?
86%.
We're not a laughingstock because of the porn we watch, though. Like, that's not the reason.
Of Americans consumed porn on their phones this year. 86%. That's not even taking into account any other devices. They also provided data on the searches on Pornhub this year.
Okay. People use phones more than computers. Neat.
And how those vary. The number 2 category searched was for lesbian porn, which is not really that shocking.
I mean, yeah, women are hot. Why?
It's been around for a bit. But the number 4 most searched genre of adult entertainment in 2022 was transgender.
I think it's more telling. Okay, so the fact that Ebony and transgender are on this list at all as high-ranking ones kind of speaks to how we fetishize minorities just a little bit. Just a little bit. I'm betting if we had this set for top 10, then interracial would be on here somewhere as well. Like, we just kind of fetishize minorities. It's a thing we do in the States. So, like, okay, if the majority of the population are white, a lot of them will not have been with, you know, a black partner. They might explore that via porn. They also probably have not been with a lesbian because, I mean, let's be honest, if you're a dude, the likelihood of this is shockingly small. And also, if you're a dude in America, the likelihood of this is also shockingly small. Something you need to figure out how to make this happen, which is not easy sometimes. Like, I'm sorry, but misogynists don't get threesomes that often. And then, transgender people. So I have a question. If we talk about transgender people a lot in media, you would expect there to be a lot of searches for it on places like Pornhub, right? Like, I'm sorry, but I'm not super surprised by this because people fetishize trans people. That's how it works. That's a thing that we do. Now, there is certainly the question of whether or not we should. Anubian says, what is a MILF? How? How do you not know that? How have you been on the internet and not know what a MILF is? How do you watch VTubers and not know what a MILF is? Anywho, your innocence, it is being ripped apart. I think all this says is that we as people not just sexualize, but we fetishize minorities. There's a lot of people who fucking hate trans people who watch trans porn. Like a lot of trans porn. People like Nick Fuentes. Yeah, Tales of Atonement knows who I'm talking about. Nick Fuentes. It said murder icky looking parts. Again, there's a conversation as to whether or not we should be fetishizing people based on something that is such an innate characteristic to them. But it's a thing we do. It's a thing people do. There's nothing shocking about it. Does it mean there's a downfall in society? No, this is a thing that we've done for fucking millennia.
I feel like this basically confirms that so many people weirdly see transgenderism as a kink and a sexual fetish.
Yes. Do you want to know one of the reasons that they do that? Because of a lack of education. A lot of people fetishize trans people because they aren't properly educated on trans people. So the only way that they can, the lens that they view trans people through is through the lens of a fetish.
I say weirdly, but we see the way that so many of these people are like presenting themselves to the outside world. But when we say that, that is hatred and bigotry because these people are just trying to love and accept themselves and it should be absolutely age appropriate when the 4th most searched genre of porn is transgender porn.
Why does that matter? That was a non sequitur. What people search on porn sites in their private time and how people present themselves in the outside world have nothing to do with one another. These are non sequiturs. They mean nothing in relation to each other. Futhermuckin Turducken, thank you for redeeming your points for an you fucking degen.
Like, guys, all jokes aside, though, the porn issue in America needs to be addressed.
How would you address the porn issue? What is your solution to that?
Like, Americans are addicted. Literally. 35% of all internet downloads right now are porn.
Who the fuck downloads their porn? What kind of dial-up internet do you need to be on to download your porn?
10% of Americans admit that they are addicted to porn. This is not people who are just, watching hours and hours but don't want to say anything. They are admitting that they are addicted.
Yeah. Do you know things that people get... Let me give you a list of other innocuous things people can get addicted to. Video games, reading books, traveling, sex. There's a lot of things that people can get addicted to that are perfectly natural and healthy to do in moderation. People can get addicted to almost anything. How is this a talking point?
65% of young men watch porn at least once a week, and 18% of young women do the same. 56% of divorce proceedings in this country cite porn as an issue in their marriage.
Almost as if people need to be able to have healthier conversations about porn and viewings of porn. And by having those healthy conversations about porn, the porn would not be an issue. It's perfectly healthy to watch porn. It's sometimes educational to watch porn. You might find kinks that you didn't know you had, that you otherwise would have had no way to explore. You may find yourself in a relationship with somebody who can't have sex with you as often as you would like, and porn is the healthy outlet that you have instead of taking out frustration on a partner potentially.
56%. I think the 60-40 number of divorces is still accurate. So 60% of American marriages end in divorce. 56% of that has to do with porn.
Again, and most of that comes down to not having healthy conversations about porn, not the porn existing. Also, divorce isn't a bad thing. I don't know how to explain it to people any more simply than divorce is not bad. Relationships do not always last forever. And the weird fetishized idea we have in the United States that we are supposed to always enter a relationship forever is so fucking nuts to me. Some people are incompatible. Some people grow out of love. Some people engage in a relationship for the wrong reasons. Some people get together, have a wonderfully fulfilling relationship, but realize that functionally they are better as friends. People break up all the time, and that's not considered a bad thing. But the minute that we attach divorce to it, suddenly it becomes this moral panic. There is nothing wrong with divorce. Not as a concept, not as a legal proceeding, not as anything. Divorce is just people leaving each other. Hell, some divorced people even remarry after separation. It's just as good as an option. Yep. Like if you're a dude who has been in a relationship and then the relationship breaks off, that's completely normal. But the minute that there was a divorce involved, you're seen as some kind of a failure. Same thing for women, too, and non-binary people, and everybody. Like, breaking up in a relationship is considered just a natural thing we do, but the minute that there's a legal paper involved, it's considered some fucking failure. I don't understand it, and I don't get it. Maybe back when I was a lot more fundamentalist, maybe back when I had a much more, rigorous view of marriage, maybe then I might have sympathized with this particular brand of thinking, but I just don't.
That should tell us, without a shadow of a doubt, that this is a huge, huge issue. Pornography usage is also directly linked to poor mental health, and it can cause depression, anxiety, low self.
Is it directly linked? Or is it just is it causally linked? Or is it correlative? Because if it's just correlative, I don't have a reason to give a shit. There's a lovely problem we run into. It's called post hoc ergo proctor hoc. It's a logical fallacy. Post hoc ergo proctor hoc means these two things happened before, post hoc, therefore they were the cause of thing 3, proctor hoc. These two things correlate, therefore there is a causative connection. It's a fallacy because not all things that are correlative are causative. Rates of killings by gun go up at the same time as rates of ice cream sales. I'm not even kidding. Look that shit up. There are all kinds of correlations that mean nothing. Here, let's go ahead and do a couple here. The number of people who've drowned by falling into a pool correlates with films Nicolas Cage has appeared in. Here, I'm not even fucking kidding you. Look, per capita cheese consumption correlates with number of people who died by becoming tangled in their bedsheets. Divorce rate in Maine correlates with the per capita consumption of a margarine. None of these things are causally linked. Not a damn one of them. Cool, you might find a link between porn and depression. There might even be a few instances where there is an actual causative link. But as a trend, you're gonna need to actually prove that one.
Self-esteem, brain fog, and physically, it causes a literal disruption to your sexual hormones.
Does it? Because, like, all right, I'm gonna say a thing. I watch plenty of porn. There is not a thing that has disrupted my sexual hormones. I watch porn and want the fuck. Nothing has changed there.
Like, no wonder our society is so messed up. Now, on top of that, the almost $17 billion porn industry is directly linked to the sex trafficking industry.
This one is true. This one is true, actually. This one is the reason that Pornhub had to get rid of so many of its videos when consent of the creators could not be determined. If the consent of the creators could not be determined, then videos were removed. A lot of videos from specific creators were taken down. Videos that were put up by couples that I guess they had a breakup later on down the road, those videos were removed because consent could not be determined. Like, a lot of that shit was just removed from Pornhub. And it was because of an attempt, well-meaning, potentially, for virtue points, potentially, we don't know, but an attempt to try to lower the amount of porn on the website that was related with trafficking. I know this to be true. And I have friends of mine who have suffered through trafficking and have been very public about that. But you're not going to solve trafficking by banning porn or by doing something about porn. Human trafficking is its own separate issue. Porn is made within that industry, yes, but it is its own separate issue that has a myriad of societal causes and a myriad of potential ways to solve it. That is a conversation for a separate video, if I can get somebody on who's more of an expert on it than me, because unlike Brett Cooper, I refuse to talk out of my ass.
Pornhub itself is already in multiple lawsuits about that, about uploading child pornography, uploading rape scenes. Here we have the New York Post. This was in June. Top Pornhub execs resign after accusations of underage forced sex videos.
Again, this is, like I said, this was a thing where Pornhub tried to remove a shit ton of videos where consent could not be figured out because of stuff like this. This is where I've got to say that Brett's correct, technically. Like, technically they're correct, because Pornhub doesn't properly screen videos that go up.
Forced sex videos? No, it's called child rape. You are allowing child rape on your platform. Here's another one. Pornhub, MindGeek, that's a company that owns Pornhub, hosted rape videos of teen sex trafficking victims.
Right, they did that because there was no way to verify if that was the case. There was no way to verify that videos that were uploaded involved everybody's consent. Like, this is one of those moments where, like, Brett Cooper's correct, but the point has flown so far over her head that it's slamming into a freeway.
They are still in that lawsuit. That is one of many.
Yep.
This is, there is no way to make this lighter than it is. Even people that are on the far left, like the radical feminists, agree that Pornhub is incredibly dangerous, especially to women. Michael Knowles did a debate recently with somebody who is pro-abortion, and that was the one place where they found common ground.
Yes, because it turns out all of us can agree that sex trafficking bad. Who could have fucking thought?
They agreed that porn is ruining this country.
Wait, did they agree that porn is ruining this country? Because that one feels a little spurious.
Especially for women, because of the way that men view women, because of the way that women are treated, sexually and non-sexually, because of the sex trafficking.
I don't know if porn is necessarily changing the way that men view women. Men have a bad track record in the United States of viewing women badly, with or without the porn.
Like, this should not be a political issue. Porn is called the new drug for a reason.
The new drug? Do you know how old porn is? There are actual synthesized drugs that are newer than porn.
It is consuming our country. And this is not and should not be a taboo subject anymore. And I'm not prude for talking about it. Like, this is a root problem in our society right now.
So we can agree that porn made without consent is a problem. We can agree that porn addiction is a problem. And we can agree that sex trafficking is a problem. What we are going to agree on is that the porn itself is the issue. A couple goes into their bedroom and films a porn and throws it up on Pornhub for a couple bucks. That's not a fucking issue. I'm sorry. That's where my line gets drawn.
Right now.
And that's it. It was entitled Evidence of the Downfall of Our Society, but all I got evidence was from... All the evidence that I got here was of my own sadness. I did not get any evidence of society being destroyed or falling down or any of that at all. I don't know, guys. As always, let me know in the comment section below how you felt. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Please don't say that random dumb shit is actually the downfall of society. Come on. As always, everybody, insert end of video tagline here.